Getting a new floor is one of the most exciting upgrades you can make to your home. But, there's one critical step that so many people skip, and it can make all the difference. It's called acclimation. It might sound a little technical, but trust me, getting this one thing right is the secret to a floor that looks amazing and actually lasts. So let's dive in. So you did it. You found a perfect laminate flooring, the boxes are sitting right there in your house, and you are so ready to get started. You can already picture that beautiful new room, and you're just itching to rip open those boxes and make it happen, right?
But wait, hold on. Before you go any further, I need you to pause, because there is one huge, costly mistake that so many people make in their excitement, a mistake that can seriously turn your dream project into a total nightmare.
And that mistake, you guessed it, is rushing the installation. It sounds so simple, right? But jumping the gun and skipping this one key prep step, well, it comes with some pretty serious hidden dangers for your brand new floor. I mean, look at this. On one side, you have the goal, what we all want, a gorgeous, seamless floor that's going to last for years. And on the other side, the risk, a floor that starts buckling, warping, and showing these ugly gaps between the planks. The one thing that separates these two realities is the process we're about to talk about. This is the perfect way to think about it. Skipping acclimation is just like skipping your warm-up before you hit the gym. Sure, you might get away with it a couple of times, but sooner or later, that lack of prep is going to catch up with you, and problems are absolutely going to show up.
So, let's get into it. What in the world is acclimation? Honestly, the best way to think about it is just letting your new flooring get comfortable. You're giving it time to adjust to its new home before you permanently lock it all together.
Okay, here's the more official definition. Acclimation is simply the process of letting those laminate planks sit in the room where you're going to install them. This lets them slowly match the room's specific temperature and humidity. It's all about creating balance.
And this chart really breaks down why that balance is so important. See, laminate flooring has what's called a high-density fiberboard core, or HDF. Think of it kind of like a sponge. When the humidity in the air goes up, that core expands. If it's already installed, that leads to buckling. And when the air gets drier, the planks contract, and that's when you see those awful gaps. Acclimation lets all this tiny movement happen before the floor is installed, not after.
So how do you actually do it? Well, the good news is it's not complicated at all. Let's just walk through a really simple 4-step plan that makes the whole thing foolproof.
Okay, here are the 4 big steps. First, get the room ready. Second, you got to check the conditions and keep them stable. Third, you need to place the boxes the right way so air can get to them. And fourth, well, this is the hardest part for most of us. You just have to wait.
First things first, the room needs a stable temperature. We're looking for something in that sweet spot between 65 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Basically, you want the room to be at the normal temperature you're actually going to live in.
And just as important, maybe even more so, is the humidity. You're aiming for a relative humidity between 35 and 65%. You can grab a cheap little tool called a hygrometer to check this. If you need to, a dehumidifier or a humidifier can help you keep things right in that zone.
And here it is, the big one, time. Pretty much every manufacturer is going to tell you to wait at least 48 to 72 hours. That's 2 to 3 days. It feels like a lot when you're excited, but it's a tiny investment to protect your floor for years. Oh, and if you live in a really humid climate, it's probably a good idea to even wait a full 96 hours, just to be on the safe side.
Now, how you store the boxes during this waiting period really matters. Always lay them flat, never on their side. That can cause them to bow. Don't stack them too high, just 3 or 4 boxes max, and leave a little space between the stacks so air can circulate all around them. Also, keep them away from heating vents or direct sunlight. And here's a huge pro tip. If you're putting them on a concrete subfloor, lay down a plastic sheet first to act as a moisture barrier.
Okay, so you've waited patiently. How do you know for sure that it's finally go time? Let's cover the simple checks you can do to know when it's really time to start your project. This is the question, right? You've done the waiting, you are so ready to get going. But doing one last quick check is the final piece of insurance against any future problems. And you don't need any special tools for this. Just use your own eyes and hands. Pull a couple of planks out of the box. They should lie completely flat on the ground. No curving, no bowing, no lifted edges. They should also feel dry, not cool or damp to the touch. Now, if you want to be 100% certain, this is what the professionals do. You can use a moisture meter. You just test the moisture level in one of the laminate planks, and then you test the subfloor itself. As long as those two readings are within 2 or 3% of each other, you are absolutely good to go.
So let's just circle back and really hammer this home. What is the real price you pay for getting impatient? What actually happens if you just decide to skip this step?
Well, these are the greatest hits of flooring disasters. You get that awful warping and buckling. You'll see gaps start to appear between the planks. The edges can start to lift up, which is called peaking. And the click-lock system that holds it all together can actually start to fail and pull apart. Basically, you're just taking years off the life of your brand new floor.
And if you need one final reason, this is probably the biggest one of all. Nearly every single flooring manufacturer will tell you, right in the instructions, that if you fail to acclimate the flooring, you completely void the warranty. That means if anything goes wrong down the line, you are entirely on your own.
So it really just boils down to this simple choice. On the one hand, you've got a few days of just waiting. On the other, you have the very real possibility of years of problems, frustration, and really expensive repairs. When you put it like that, the smart choice is pretty clear, isn't it?
So I'll just leave you with this question. This whole process, it costs you $0. All it costs is a little bit of time and patience. So when you think about the reward, a beautiful, stable, perfect floor that's going to last for years, isn't that little bit of patience worth it?